Good evening, everybody, and welcome to That's Good Pasta, our creepy podcast about creepy pastas. I think that's how I do these intros. Um, sorry, it's been a while. It's been
You
kind of a
messed it
hectic
all
few
up.
months.
You messed
I
it all
know.
up with your.
Haven't done it forever. Your duct is throwing me off. We're all in different spots now. Um, yeah, sorry about the wait on this one. We've been kind of busy. I graduated. I'm about to move again. Jared did move. It's just been crazy. So sorry about that, guys.
No, the story's
But to,
actually just that long. It just
it
takes
is.
so
We've been
long.
writing it. Yeah, we've been writing it today. With me, as well, not always, but now we're back again, is my producer, my tech boy, the scamp of scamps of That's Good Pasta, and his name would be.
I forgot. There, I actually
It's been
messed one
so.
up. I actually messed one up,
It's it's been so long. It's been so long. What's your name?
Jared.
It's Jared, and I'm Thomas. All right. Tonight we're gonna go through a fun little creepy pasta. It's called "When I Was a Kid." Something appeared in my backyard by I had the name here
Who is it?
by Dead in Spread. I don't know why it makes me chuckle.
Spreading that
All right.
sod.
Yep. Okay. Here we go. So I'm not young. I'm not exactly old either, but probably older than most of you reading this, though. I grew up in a time before cell phones. The internet was a pretty new thing, and we most certainly didn't have places like this to share weird, scary stories. I wish there had been something like that, though. Maybe I would have gotten some advice or at least had a better record than a spotty memory hazed over with the alcohol and drug use of my 20s. Honestly, I had mostly forgotten about the truth of this incident. That is, until recently, it all came flooding back like a nightmarish wave. I think my brain protected me from the trauma, buried it so deep
And my Jimmy runs deep, so deep, put her butt to sleep.
that it took a long time for it to come to the surface. It's at the surface now, though, and now that it's back, I'm jumping ahead. Though let's start at the beginning. So the year was 1996. I was 14 years old and living in a small California town. My parents had purchased a house on the mountains. My father had become disenfranchised with life in the city and wanted to go somewhere that our closest neighbor was nearly a mile away. I can't say I made it or I made it I can't say it made me or my sister Katie too terribly happy. We lost all of our friends and ended up in this small town school that involved an hour-long bus ride to and from the campus. She made new friends quickly. She was 2 years older than me, pretty, popular, and the kind of person people were drawn to. I, on the other hand, was short, awkward, and quiet. So suffice to say, I got picked on a lot and didn't adjust super well. My father saw this as an opportunity to toughen me up and teach me some things about how to take care of our new home. If you're gonna just be sitting around in the house all summer anyway, you might as well uh, learn some life skills. Sorry, my cursor decided to freak out. And that was that. I only took one last look at my PlayStation and my copy of Resident Evil I'd saved my allowance for, and I was put to work. I cleaned gutters, mowed the lawn, helped my dad repaint the garage, and finally, the most important task to this story, I helped him build a new woodshed that you go out and spank ya. I say helped, but it was really he talked me through it, and I did the majority of the labor. I think he always wished I was more the type to work with my hands, even though, especially at that age, I was more into drawing, writing, and video games than sitting in the sun building a shed.
He just
We gotta
sat
get
in
you
a
some,
chair and watched me build it.
yeah,
He
just
whipped me.
there with the Miller Lite, just like doing it wrong. So we gotta get you some calluses, kiddo. He would say while slapping my back. Builds character.
See, he was whipping him.
Yep. I'm honestly not sure if I built any character, but I damn sure built that woodshed. Old grocery store pallets made up of the flooring, but the walls and roof were these huge corrugated aluminum sheets to make sure that the rain ran off and away from the wood piles. I cut myself so many damn times getting those sheets into place, I looked like I'd lost a fight with the razor blade factory. As
Those
me and
do
Jared
cut.
can attest to, those suck. Like, we used to have to pile those, like, on pallets and stuff where we worked, and those are heavier than you think. That you get like a stack about that thick. You're like, oh, I can lift that. No, that's about like 500 to 600 pounds right there.
Yeah, I remember being like, we can't do this one at a time. Let's get like 4, and it was like,
Let's
nope.
get like 4. And what's weird though is that even though they're heavy, if you get caught in the wind though, you're basically gone. You're a sail gone. Anyway, sidetracked. Now sometimes I wonder if all the blood I spilled in that grass summoned him, like I accidentally performed some ritual that I was totally unaware of. 1, spill a couple pints of blood in your backyard lawn. 2, curse profusely while putting up a woodshed with your dad laughing at you the whole time. 3, spend every night praying to whatever deity that will listen that you don't have to spend another second working on that damn shed. And 4, summon an unholy evil that permanently scars you and leaves you a broken mess, repressing memories for the majority of your life. Pretty shit ritual if you ask me. I'm joking though. It has nothing.
I'm pretty sure you've done that, or you and your dad have done that. Did you summon something? Thomas, what's that behind you? Oh God!
Don't worry about it. I'm joking though. It has nothing to do with the blood or even the shed. Really, the shed is just where he first appeared. I can remember that night with more clarity than I wish to. It was the night I finished building. I remember my dad actually telling me I did a good job as he inspected my work. He brought me a Coke with dinner. He said if it was be a beer if I was a little older. Honestly, I appreciated the gesture. I know I make him seem like a hard ass, but in reality, he was a good man. He was just very old school in his sensibilities. After dinner, I went up to my room and finally spent some time playing my game. My sister had left for the night. She was going on her first date with the boy she met at school. Since she was going to be out late, my parents agreed I'd earned it and said I could stay up as late as I wanted to. My hands hurt and I was exhausted, but I honestly didn't care. I felt like I'd earned my time to relax and enjoy myself. It felt pretty good. I stayed up way too late. The clock rolled over to 1:30, and I had finally told myself I should get some sleep because who knew what chore Dad had for me the next day. After getting ready for bed, I went to my window and looked out at my handiwork. Actually pretty proud of myself. And then I saw it. At first I thought it was my dad, but my eyes adjusted looking in the dark, and I realized he was far too tall. Far too lanky and far too pale. His clothes hung off his thin frame in ragged tatters and bellowed in the night breeze. He walked around the shed, sliding his hands against the aluminum sides. Tink, 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 tink.
He said 96.
The sound of his... Yeah, 96.
So he's playing the first Resident Evil?
Yeah.
When I first
on PlayStation.
listened to this, I didn't hear the year, so I thought he was playing Resident Evil 4 for some reason.
That's not scary at all. The sound of his nails clicking against the bends in the metal. Then he looked up at me. There was a shine in his eyes, like the shine of a raccoon has when you catch it hunting through your trash.
Hello.
His face was...
Hello.
Oh God, it's salad fingers. His face was gaunt and pale, shrunken teeth. It is salad fingers. Sunken cheeks that made his cheekbones like sharp daggers jutting out the sides of his face. His mouth was little more than a thin line of nothing drawn on his lower set jaw. It wriggled slightly as he fixed his gaze on me. Awake too late.
Have you noticed horror is the only genre that likes to use the word gaunt?
Gaunt.
Yeah.
That's true. It spoke. I shouldn't have been able to hear its soft whisper, yet I could very easily. It rang in my ears and at a pitch similar to someone rubbing a wetted finger on the half full crystal glass. Oh, okay.
How do you know what that sounds like?
I don't know what that. Was he 12, right?
14.
I don't know how someone would know that. 14, sorry. Its stutter, a manufactured weakness like its weak-looking frame. Come out to play, or I come in. It cocked its head around at an unusual natural angle and twisted it further and further until it was looking at me almost upside down. It hummed, and the drone filled the air around me. The floor beneath my feet vibrated with an odd frequency, and it resonated through my legs and into my chest.
And it climbed up my back and into my brain.
Are there any other
I tried to cry out to my parents, but I felt paralyzed. I don't know if it had something to do with me or if it was just so scared, or if I was so scared I couldn't move. I watched as it twisted its body into bizarre angles and skittered from the woodshed to the side of the door of the house. I could hear it climbing up the walls toward my window. My feet finally broke free from their place on the ground, and I stumbled backward toward the door to my room. Dad, Mom, I remember saying the words, but I could honestly can't be sure if I was a shout or a whisper, though I would realize it really didn't matter. The face of suddenly appeared in my second story window. It was close enough now that I could better make out its features. The eyes still. I lost my place. The eyes still gleamed from the sunken face and its sockets, and the lined mouth that still quivered as it hummed its awful noise. I'm going to skip a little bit because it's like a lot of
Explaining.
just describing this creature as like being very thin. I barely had time to think as I had locked my window before the creature slid its bony fingers into the crack of the windowsill and lifted it. It slithered through like liquid, and before it touched the ground, I had flung my bedroom door open and ran down the hallway towards my parents. They were sound asleep in their beds. I ran over to my father, started shaking him, trying to wake him up, but it was like he was in a coma. I shook and shook, but his eyes stayed closed and his body stayed still. I ran around to the bed to try to do the same thing with my mother, screaming like a madman the whole time to try to get them to wake up. Sleep like sleep like little angels, sleep like the dead. It stood at my parents' doorway. It looked taller than before, as if it was wreathed in shadow. Good lord. Its head twisted unnaturally again, and it wrapped. Okay, it said its head's twisted naturally. I think it means unnaturally. It's like if it's twisted naturally, that'd just be like.
He did. He was just like,
Hello. That's when I heard the front door open. It was quiet. My sister trying to sneak in after her curfew. Not quiet enough though. That says quite, but it's funny. The thing spun its head around quickly, reacting to the new presence in the house before I could react. It was making its way to the stairs in unnaturally grace and fluidity. Its hands and feet clawed the walls, knocking pictures down. I could hear them breaking on the ground. I ran after it, not even sure what the hell I was planning to do. I watched it vanish down the stairs and heard my sister let out one of the most terrifying screams I'd ever heard.
I have to scream.
Well, go ahead.
And then, oh no! Even when I had convinced myself there was never a monster, that had simply been a human intruder in our home that night, I never forgot the sound of that scream. From the top of the stairs, I watched the thing encircled my sister like a constrictor, its thin fingers wrapping her throat and squeezing to cut short that awful scream into a painful wheeze. It opened its mouth again and made that camera shutter clack a few more times before it did something I can't even begin to fathom or properly do justice with my words. It drained the life from her.
that's weird.
I could see it.
It's like an entity, but it choked her out like a human. Like usually when it's like a thing, you just die like unexpectedly or something like that.
Start tapping. Start tapping. I could see it happening. Her eyes wide in terror as her form seemed to blur, and what I could most accurately describe as her soul was ripped from her body and into that horrid creature's open mouth. Her hair turned white, and her skin went pallid and gray until she almost looked like that thing that was killing her. I bolted down the stairs and attempted to stop what I was seeing, but was quickly flung away as it reached an arm out and threw me backwards with little to no effort. I slammed hard against the stairway and heard my legs snap.
Jeez.
I know. I watched screaming in a mix of terror and pain as it drained every last drop of life from my sister and left her a shrunken, wide-eyed shell on the floor of our hallway. I knew I was next. It stared at me and looked in those gleaming eyes and their sockets and stretched that thin line into a God, I can't pronounce that word. Facsimile of a smile. I was like, fac-smile of a smile?
The creature winked at me and made kissing lips.
And then it turned away and slithered through the half-open front door. I was left alone, legs shattered and mind broken, staring helplessly at my sister's lifeless body. It felt like I was laying there for hours, soaking in the scene around me, the pain in my leg fading to shock and thoughts racing through my mind as to why it didn't kill me too. The screams of my parents then, when they finally woke up and found us, seemed like they had been happening, like they were happening in another world. That's a weird sentence. Like distant cries of pain being carried on the wind. My my parents never really recovered from the loss. The police created a narrative that made sense to them. A prowler breaks into an isolated home. The kids, myself and my sister, startled this prowler and he attacked us. My leg is broken and my sister and my poor sister apparently scared to death. Heart failure due to acute stress upon response. What kind of 16-year-old has heart failure from being scared? My parents bought it though, unfortunately. They never forgave themselves for sleeping through the encounter, despite the fact that the creature had obviously put them into a comatose state while he attacked us. My mother and father separated a few years later, and shortly after, my father drank himself to death. My mother hasn't spoken to me in years. She fell down her own shame spiral that led her isolating herself and from us to protect herself from the pain. I, on the other hand, forgot as much about the encounter as my mind would allow. I too decided the police story was easier to digest than the truth. Maybe it helped. Maybe I would be a raving lunatic otherwise. I can't say remembering all of this now has helped my good. That is not a good, real well written sentence. And that brings us to now. And what brought back those memories in the first place? A much shorter story, but one I'm hoping at least to tell. Good Lord, we got to tell this again. 3 nights ago, I saw it again. I had gotten home from work, trying to relax and watch some TV before bed. I ended up falling asleep in my chair, and I woke up, and I shut off the TV and checked my phone. It was 1:30 in the morning, and that moment, a deep chill went down my spine. The first tinge of memory came back like a frigid wave. I felt compelled to go to my window, almost like some unseen hand was guiding me. I know that sounds like it, but I know what that sounds like, but it's the truth. I looked out to the courtyard of my apartment building, expecting to see the parking lot and the entranceway. Instead, I saw my parents' backyard. I saw a sight I hadn't seen in almost 30 years. The woodshed I had built, and standing next to it, a tall, gaunt man dressed in flowing rags, his eyes shining and his head cocked at an unnatural angle. Are you sure it's not a natural angle? I felt a tear roll down my cheek, flashes of my sister's face frozen in horror behind my eyes, and before I knew it, I was at my window. It was at my window, peering in at me, unblinking. The window opened slowly, and as I backed away, the creature slid through the crack in that serpentine way it had been moving and stood before me, somehow even taller than I remember. Its thin lined mouth dropped open, and it released my sister's horrifying scream from somewhere deep down inside of it before its quick shuddering motion. Oh, that's weird. Sleep like the dead. It reached for me and I screamed. Then it was daylight. The creature was gone and 7 hours had passed. I spent a long time wondering if I was dead or just didn't realize it. Maybe that would be preferable. Maybe it would be easier for me to be trapped in that monstrosity like my sister, or at least I wouldn't be wondering if it was coming back. Okay, so that's a lot. So Jared, what do you think what did you think of this story?
I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it. I like that it was short and sweet, not too long. As far as like the creature, it's I don't know what it is. It's weird.
I think it might be a Wendigo, like because it's like in the woods, that kind of thing.
The guy from YouTube.
Yep, Wendigoon. Wendigoon.
When he said when he first leaves, not killing him, just the sister, and he's like, why? I wanted the creature to be like, because you did a good job on that shed.
Yeah, that shed is a good job, man. Good job. Wonderful.
You deserve a Coke.
Yeah, so this one's pretty new. I think we watched the video with Mr. Creepypasta. I think this one's like 3 weeks old when we're by the time at the time recording.
Is it a new story or a new video?
It's a new video. I don't know how old the story is. I can click on Reddit real quick.
If it's
Maybe.
a new story, that'd be kind of cool because it sounds like an old creepypasta.
Let's see here.
It's funny that he
Bum,
does
bum.
have some like random flowery language.
Yeah,
Like
Like,
my
what do you call
fears
it?
tossed in the wind.
could be worse. It could be the what is it? The Doomstar? Not the Doom. Why am I calling it the Doomstar? Oh dang, he's got like a lot of creepypastas actually that he wrote. It's only a year old.
Oh, okay.
He wrote one this Creepcast. Oh wait, these are posts that he's done. What am I saying? Oh no, he's written a few though. Yeah, but no, this is only like a year old. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's kind of fun. The reason I picked it is because I had to help out my dad mow the lawn the other day, and he was just like basically watching me the whole time. And I was like, I wonder if there's like been a creature or something in the backyard after someone's mowed the lawn. It's kind of similar, but it was just kind of a fun one that I wanted to do. This one was pretty good. I mean, I do enjoy it. It's not super high up there. It's very short, which is at points for it. Very digestible, and creepypasta's reading is always good. But no, this was a very mid one. Kind of nothing to write home about, but I have
Yeah.
nothing really bad to say about it. It's a cool creature.
Might need to pass that draft.
Might need what?
Might need to pass that draft through ChatGPT
Yeah.
to clean it up.
Yeah, clean it up a little bit, but it's still pretty good though.
Yeah.
So we've definitely read worse on here, so
Yeah.
I am happy that this did not take up a bunch of my brain power. But no, this is a fun one.
Yeah.
So go out and read it. Go out and watch the video. We'll try to link the video down in the description. Jared.
We'll see.
Okay.
Mr. Creepypasta. No, we will.
But yeah, sorry about the wait, guys. It's been kind of hectic. It's going to get hectic again because I'm moving. Hopefully we can get some more steady videos coming out. I can't promise anything. We will still have stuff on the channel. Like we have videos every week, at least 2 to 3 videos every week from multiple sources, either me, Joseph, Jared. So I mean, we got a lot of stuff on here. So just kind of give us a like, subscribe, share. You know what to do. Thanks for all the support. Hope that we can come back more. Yeah. So, anything else, Jared?
No, I think that's it.
Alrighty. Well, that's it for the video, and stay creepy out there. Bye.